पयोधेः अन्तस्थं तव चरणरत्नं मृगयते.
The third line, Munijana Manaha, that is the noun for this main shloka. Munijana Manaha, the mind of the Munis. The mind of the Munis, Tava Charanaratnam Mrigayate. Mrigayate means seeks, looks for, searches. Seeks your Charana, your feet, which is a gem, Charana Ratnam. Now, the description of the Charana Ratnam in the balance lines. Kritasnanam Shastramrita Sarasi. Now, this description can be attributed to Munijana Manaha, the minds of the Munis, or it can also be attributed to Charana Ratnam. The shloka has been framed in such a way that it applies to both. That is, the seeker as well as the object in respect of the descriptions. Kritasnanam Shastra Amrita Sarasi. Amrita Sarasi, Amrita pond, pond of Amrita. Which pond of Amrita? Shastra Amrita Sarasi. Of the Shastras. Kritasnanam, having bathed, having taken bath in the pond of nectar of Shastras. The emphasis on Shastras, which we have been seeing in earlier slokas also. Shastra Saranau, we saw last time. So similar emphasis is given here also for the seeker as well as for the sought. Shastra Amrita Sarasi Kritasnanam, O Kamakshi, Dadhanam Nitaram Vaishadyam. Dadhanam means holding. Nitaram, excellent, very high. Vaishadyam, clarity. Vishada means clear. Vaishadyam, clarity. That means there is no absence of clarity in the minds of the Munis as to what they are going to seek. Now, the problem with all of us is we have so many aims in life, we get confused, we run after so many aims, we don't have any aikagri chitta. Whereas Munis are capable of that, capable of aikagri chitta, so they are having clarity, excellent clarity. Nitaram Vaishadyam Dadanam. They hold excellent clarity. That also applies to the Charanaratnam because Charanaratnam is very clear as to what it is going to give us. It is going to give us moksha, it is going to give us whatever you seek. So it is very clear. Kalita rasa rasam ananda sudhaya. Kalita rasam ananda sudhaya. Kalita means having, kept having, having imagined. Rasam ananda sudhaya. Ananda Sudha is Ananda Amrita, Ananda, nectar of bliss, which is very sweet. Kalita Rasam means Rasam is there. Rasam is there, Kalita Rasam, which is very sweet. What is very sweet? Ananda Sudha is very sweet. Now that essence of Ananda Sudha is there in the minds of the Munis as well as in the Charana Ratnam. They are already bathed in Shastra Amrita Saras. They are very clear about what they want and what they give, and they are filled with the essence of the nectar of Ananda, bliss. Now, the balance of the description applies only to Charanaratnam. Alankaram Bhumehe. Charanaratnam is the decoration, is the ornament, is the adornment of Bhumi, of the earth. Munijana Manaha Chinmaya Maya Mahapayodhehe Antastham. Now, where to find this Charanaratnam? Where to find this Charanaratnam? That is the next question that is being answered. Chinmaya Mahapayodhehe Antastham. Antastham is inside. residing inside, where Mahapayodhehe, the great ocean, inside the great ocean, which great ocean? Chinmaya, of the form of consciousness, because there is nothing but consciousness in the entire creation. There is nothing but consciousness, which is Devi, in the entire creation. Whatever we think, whatever objects we think are there, they are all mithya, they are all false. So the reality is only Chit. So Chinmaya Mahapayodhehe Antastham Tava Charana Ratnam Brigayate. So Munijana Manaha, the minds of Munis seek your Charana Ratnam, the lotus feet, which is the gem, having bathed in the pond, which is nectarine, which is of Shastras, and possessing excellent clarity, and also enjoying full of the bliss, nectarine bliss, which is very sweet. The Charana Ratnam is the adornment of the earth, and it has to be sought inside the great ocean of consciousness. Next.
मनोगेहे मोहोद्भवतिमिरपूर्णे मम मुहुः दरिद्राणि कुर्वन् दिनकरसहस्राणि किरणैः विधत्तां कामाक्षी प्रसृमरतमो वञ्चनचणः क्षणार्धं सानिध्यं चरणमणिदीपो जननि ते
Charana Mani Deepaha. Last time it was Charana Ratnam. Now this time it is a lamp, gem-studded lamp, which is the lotus feet of Kamakshi. Now what is there is a prayer here. Kshanardham Sannidhyam Vidhattam. That is the prayer. Kshanardham, for half a second. Sannidhyam Vidhattam. Sannidhyam, presence. Vidhattam. Please make. May presence be made for half a second of that lamp, which is gem-studded lamp, which is your lotus foot. Where to make that presence? Manogehe. Geha is griha, same. That is residence. The residence of my mind. Where the Sannidhyam is requested in the house, which is my mind. How is the mind? That mind is being described. Mohodbhava timira purne mama manogehe, which is Mohodbhava timira purne. Timira is darkness, full of darkness. Darkness born, moha udbhava. Udbhava means born of moha, delusion. My mind is full of darkness, born of delusion. So that kind of mind, where there is darkness, complete darkness, let your lamp be lighted and be present in the house of my mind. Now, the Charanamani Deepava is being described further. Muhuhu, that is frequently, Daridrani Kurvan Dinakara Sahasrani Kiranaihi. Dinakara Sahasrani, thousands of Suryas, Dinakara Surya, thousands of Suryas are being made Daridrani, being made very poor. That means poor in the quality of light. Poor does not mean poor in wealth, poor in quality of light. Thousands of Suryas are impoverished in terms of light by your Kiranaihi, by the rays which are emanating from the lamp, which is your lotus feet. Prasrumara Tamo Vanchana Tanaha. That is the next description of the Charanamani Deepa. Prasrumara means spreading all round, very dense, spreading all round. Tamaha, darkness. Vanchana. Vanchana is actually cheating. Here it means removing, destroying. Chanaha means expert, master. Your Charanamani Deepa is a master, is an expert in cheating, in destroying darkness which is all pervading. When it can remove the darkness which is all pervading, why can it not remove the darkness which is inside my mind, manogehe? When it can make thousands of Suryas poor, impoverished in terms of prakasha, in terms of brilliance, how is it that you cannot bring it to my mind and remove my darkness in my mind? That is the question. That is why Kshanardham Sannidhyam Vidattam. At least for half a second, if you bring that lamp to my mind, then the darkness will go. Mohodbhava Timirapurne, the darkness which is born out of delusion. Because your Karanamani Deepa is capable of destroying darkness which is all pervasive, destroying the making poor thousands of Suryas by your rays. Next.
कवीनां चेतोवन् नखररुचि सम्पर्कि विबुध स्रवन्ती स्रोतोवत् पटुमुखरितं हंसकरवैः विनारम्भ श्रीवन् नियतमरुणच्छाय सुभगम् मदन्तः कामाक्ष्याः स्फुरतु पदपङ्के रुहयुगम्
कामाक्ष्याः pada pankeruha yugam madantaha spuratu. That is the prayer, the last line. Kamakshaha of Kamakshi, pada pankeruha yugam. Pankeruha is another term for lotus. Pankeruha, another term for lotus. Pankaja, pankeruha, both mean the same. Pada pankeruha, the lotus feet, yugam, the twin lotus feet, the pair of lotus feet should shine. Spuratu, madantaha, inside me. Matu antaha, inside me. That is in my mind. In my mind, let the lotus feet shine. Now the description of the lotus feet. Kavinam ketovat nakhara ruchi samparki. This has got a twin meaning. Kavinam Chayatovat. It is like the minds of the poets, your lotus feet, or like the minds of the poet. Chayataha is mind. Kavinam Chayatovat. Nakhara Ruchi Samparki. Nakhara is the nails, shine of the nails. By shining of the nails, it is having contact with, Samparka is contact with the poet's mind. That means what? Poet's mind is shining with the brightness of the nails of lotus feet. That means because the poets are always meditating on the lotus feet are so compassionate that the Nakhara Ruchi is giving the shine in their mind. That is first meaning. Second meaning is Na Khara. Na Khara means harsh. See, the poet could have used Nakharuchi. He is using Nakhara Ruchi. He is adding the letter Ra there because it gives the second meaning. Nakhara means nails as well as Nakhara, not harsh. Not harsh means sweet. That means sweet words arise in the minds of the Kavis because of the lotus feet. Because of the lotus feet, they are able to produce sweet words. Na khara ruchihi, the shining lotus, the shining soft words, sweet words. Vibudha srabanti srotovat patu mukharitam hamsa karavaihi. The next description. Vibudha srabanti srotaha. Vibudha srotaha is Ganga. Srota is the river. Vibudha is celestial. Devaloka. Devaloka river. Sravanti means flowing. Devaloka river which is flowing. Sroto vatu. Like the first parallel was Kavinam Chetas. The second parallel is Vibudha sravanti sroto vatu. Vatu means like. like the Ganga which is flowing. Patu mukharitam hamsa karavaihi. Mukharitam means making a lot of sound. Patu means a lot of sound. Mukharitam making sound. Patu a lot of sound. Hamsa karavaihi. Hamsaka is swan. Rava is sound. The lot of swans are present in the Ganga river. They make lot of giggling sound. So because of the giggling sound, it is lot of sound is being generated in the Ganga river. Like that, your lotus feet is making sound like with what? Hamsaka Ravaihi. Hamsaka also means anklet. Hamsaka has got two meanings. One is anklet, another is the. He could have said Hamsa Ravaihi, like last time we saw Nakhara. Here we are adding the letter Ka. Hamsaka means a small swan. Hamsaka Ravaihi. Hamsaka also means anklet. By the sounds of your anklet, you are making a lot of sound, like the flowing Ganga river, which is making a lot of sound because of the swans. So this is the poet's imagination, parallels he is drawing. Then next parallel, third parallel. Dinarambha Shrivat. Dina Arambha, the starting point of the daytime, that is Surya's rise of sun, sunrise. Shrivat, Shri means the glory, like the shine and the glory of the sunrise, like that, Shrivat. Niyatam Aruna Chaya Subhagam. Niyatam means it is always there, present always. Aruna Chaya Subhagam. Aruna Chaya, the shine of red color, because your feet are having the shine of red color. Aruna Chaya Subhagam. Subhagam is beautiful. Beautiful red color is there in your lotus feet. And in the case of sun, it is Aruna Chaya, because the Aruna, who is driving the chariot, he appears first. Arunodaya is first, and that is why the red color, because he is spreading the red color. So Aruna Chaya, it applies to sun. Like the sunrise, where the beautiful red color is caused by Arunodaya, similarly, your feet are always spreading beautiful red color, Aruna Chaya Subhagam. So these are the three descriptions of your lotus feet. And then the prayer is that your lotus feet should shine in my mind. The lotus feet are like the minds of the poets, where the shine of the nail is giving the beauty, and the poets are able to produce words which are not harsh, which are sweet. Then second example is the flowing Ganga river, which is making lot of sound because of the swans, and your feet are making sounds because of the anklets. The third example is your lotus feet, or like the rising sun, like the glory of the rising sun, you have the glory of the red color in your lotus feet, and the sun has got the glory of the red color because of the Arunodaya. That is the third parallel. Next.
सदा किं सम्पर्कात् प्रकृतिकठिनैर्नाकि मुकुटैः तटैर्निहाराद्रेः अधिकमणुना योगी मनसा विभिन्ते सम्मोहं शिशिरयति भक्तानपि दृशाम् अदृश्यं कामाक्षी प्रकटयति ते पादयुगलम्.
Padayavalam, your twin lotus feet. He is giving three descriptions of the lotus feet. Sada kim samparkat prakriti kachinaihi naki mukutaihi. Naki is devas. Naka is devaloka. Naki is devas. Mukutaihi, the crowns of the devas, when they prostrate to Devi. Samparkat, because Mukutaihi, Samparkat, because of the contact with the crowns, Prakriti Kathinaihi, they are naturally hard. They are not made of soft material, naturally. The crowns or made of hard material. So Prakriti Kathinaihi, by nature they are hard. The Devaloka, Devas, Mukuta, the crowns, because of contact with that, your feet, which are generally soft, acquire hardness. After acquiring hardness, what do? The third line. Vibhinte sammoham. They are able to break the hard delusion of people. Vibhinte means break, rend asunder. Break the sammoham, the great delusion. Moha is delusion, sammoham, the great delusion of people. The great delusion of people, you are able to break that hard, dense mass of delusion. You are able to break because your feet have acquired hardness by contact with the naturally hard surfaces of Devalokas, Devas, crowns. That is the first. Then second, there are 3 points here. Tataihi niharadrehe adhikam. Tataihi nihara adhikam we will take with the next one. Tataihi niharadrehe. Niharadre is Himachala. Adri means Achala, that is mountain. Nihara is Tusharadri, that is Hima, that is snow. Niharadri is snow-capped mountain, that is Himachal. Tataihi, the areas, the valleys, the valleys around the Himachala, because of contact, Samparkat. Samparkat is common to both these examples, all the 3 examples. Samparkat Mukutaihi, Samparkat Tataihi. Niharadrehe Tataihi, because of contact with the areas, the valleys of Himachala, what are you doing? Shishirayati Bhaktan. You are able to make devotees cool. Shishirayati, make cool. Shishira Rutu, you might have heard of. That is the cool season, the winter. So Shishirayati, make it cool. Bhaktan. Make the devotees cool, make the devotees' minds cool. They are having tapa, they are always suffering from tapa, from misery. You remove the misery and make them cool because you have established contact with Himachala. That is the second point. The third is Adhikam Anuna Yogi Manasa. That is the third contact with Adhikam, a lot of contact, which is with Yogi Manasa, Yogi's minds, which are Anuna, which is the Anu form, minute form. Means what? Very subtle. Yogis are always meditating on you, so their minds have become very subtle, not gross like our mind, because our minds are gross because we are thinking of 1,000 things, but they think only of one thing, so it is very subtle. A subtle concentration is the characteristics of Yogi Manas. So he says, because of the subtlety and adhikam, because you are in contact, a lot of contact with them. Samparkata adhikam, anuna yogi manasa. Because of that, what happens? Drisham adrishyam prakatayati. Drisham, for the eyes. Drisham means for the eyes. Adrishyam, what cannot be seen. What cannot be seen by the eyes, prakatayati. You make it clear. You make it visible. You make it visible what cannot be seen by the eyes, what cannot be seen by the sthula eyes. Because you have attained a very subtle nature by contact with the very subtle yogi's mind, you are able to show us what cannot be seen with our naked eyes. That means what? In our mind, we are able to see your lotus feet. How? Because of your contact with yogi's minds. For ages, yogis have been meditating on you, so your feet have attained subtlety. So 3 points he is making. Your feet have attained hardness because of contact with the crowns of Devas. Prakriti Kathina, by naturally they are hard. Because of that, you are able to destroy, break the delusion of the devotees. Because of your contact with Himachala, you are able to make the devotees cool. Because of your contact with yogis' minds, which are extremely subtle, you are able to show us what cannot be seen with our naked eyes. Next.
पवित्राभ्यामम्ब प्रकृतिमृदुलाभ्यां तव शिवे पदाभ्यां कामाक्षि प्रसभमपि भूतैः सचकितैः प्रवालैरम्भोजैः अपि च वनवास व्रतदशाः सदैवारभ्यन्ते परिचरित नाना विजगणैः.
Now, this is a very different type of imagination he is using here. And the poet is saying that the lotus feet are in competition with two objects, and then he is describing those two objects. Pavitrabhyam amba prakriti mridulabhyam tava shive, O Shive, tava pavitrabhyam, very pure, very pure. Prakriti mridulabhyam, naturally they are very soft. Your feet are very pure and naturally they are very soft. Tava padabhyam, of those feet, O Kamakshi, prasabham abhibhutaihi sachakitaihi. Prasabham means with agitation. Abhibhutaihi, defeated. Sachakitaihi, defeated, and then they don't know, they are confused, they are wondering what next to do. They have been defeated and they don't know what to do. They are confused, they are wondering. Sachakitaihi. Who is defeated and who is wondering? Two people. Pravalaihi, Ambhojaihi, Api. Ambhoja is lotus. Jalaja, Ambhoja, Pankaja, they are all same lotus. Ambhojaihi by lotuses. Pravalaihi by tender plants, by shoots of plants. Two people have been defeated badly. Prasabham abhibhutehi. With agitation, they have been defeated. The lotus feet went and defeated them with great agitation. And so they are left with wonder what to do next. Such akitehi. By which type of feet? Pavitrabhyam, prakriti mridulabhyam. Very pure and very soft by nature. Now they have been defeated. What do they do then? Vanavasa vratadashaha sadaiva arabhyante. By these two people, arabhyante sadaiva, always or commenced, always or started. What is started by them? Vanavasa vratadashaha. They are forced to be expelled to the forest. They are forced to live in forest. Vanavasa, forest life. Vrata, not only forest life, and they are going to observe vrata. They are going to observe a vow. Dasha, that is the state. They are driven to the state of observing vows, observing austerity, and living in the forest. Always. Sadaiva. It is started by them. Because they are defeated, they want to establish competition once again with the lotus feet. That is the Pravala and the Amboja, the tender plant and the lotuses. So they are driven to the Vanavasa. Vanavasa, the Pravala is the forest. Pravala, the tender plant is driven to the forest. Amboja is driven to pond. Vana means also water. Vana has got two meanings. Vana, forest as well as water. So Pravala, the tender plant is driven to the forest. Amboja, the lotus, is driven to water. And then they go and observe Vrata. How do they observe? Parikarita nana dvijaganaihi. Dvija is birds. Dvija is birds as well as Brahmanas. We have seen before. Dvija is birds as well as Brahmanas. Also tooth. We saw it as tooth last time. Now, Dvijaganehi, by the groups of birds, Nana Dvijaganehi, various types of birds, Parikarita, surrounded by. Actually, Parikarita means Parikarana is serving. They are served by birds. Here it can be taken as surrounded by various types of birds. That is, the Amboja as well as the Pravala, both of them are surrounded by different types of birds when they resort to water or the forest. That is one meaning. Second meaning is when they observe a fast, when they observe a vrata, you need a brahmana for guiding you in the vrata, isn't it? You need a vadhyar, you need a upadhyaya, you need a brahmana. So this is the Rohit. So he says, surrounded by different types of brahmanas, then only you can do vrata. So different types of brahmanas are different types of birds here because they cannot expect brahmana because they have gone to the forest or water. No brahmana will come to the water, no brahmana will come to the forest. So birds are giving them the company and they are observing the vrata. This is the imagination of the poet, how these two people have been defeated. The tender plants and the lotuses have been defeated with great agitation by your feet, which are naturally very gentle, very soft, which are very pure, and they are left to wonder and they start always the vrata, the vow, and living in the forest or living in the water, and they are surrounded by various types of birds, as if they are surrounded by various brahmanas for observing vrata. That is the meaning. Next.
चिरादृश्या हंसैः कथमपि सदा हंससुलभम् निरस्यन्ति जाड्यं नियतजडमध्यैक शरणम् अदोषव्यासङ्ग तततमपि दोषाप्तिमलिनम् पयोजं कामाक्ष्याः परिहसति पादाब्ज युगली.
Here again, the poet is using words which have double meanings in many places. Kamakshaha payojam, Kamakshaha padabja yugali, payojam parihasati. Kamakshaha of Kamakshi, padabja yugali, the twin lotus feet, payojam, lotus, parihasati, it ridicules. Your lotus feet ridicule lotus. How it ridicules, he is describing. Chirat drishya hamsaihi. Hamsaihi paramahamsas. Paramahamsas are great yogis, not swan. You should take the meaning in the context. Here, hamsaihi chirat drishya, the lotus feet, are seen for after a long time. Chirat, after a long time, drishya seen, hamsaihi by paramahamsas, by yogis who are paramahamsas, see your lotus feet after a long time. Kathamapi, somehow they are able to see, somehow. But what happens to Payoja, the lotus? Sada hamsa sulabham. It is always easy for swans. Lotus, easily attainable for hamsas, for swans. The word hamsa is used in two different meanings. For lotus, hamsa is easy to attain. For lotus feet, for hamsas, it is not so easy. Kirat drishya, after a long time, after long effort, long tapas, they are able to see. This is the contrast. So naturally, lotus gets defeated. Lotus is ridiculed. Next, nirasyanti dadyam niyata jada madhya eka sharanam. Nirasyanti dadyam, always removing. Nirasyanti means removing. Always removing inertia. Jadyam is inertia, ignorance. Always removing ignorance. Niyata jada madhya eka sharanam. Whereas for the lotus, jada madhya eka sharanam. It is always, that is the only place, it is in the middle of jada. Niyata, always. Jada means inert. Lotus resting place is in the middle of inert waters. Because waters are inert. Waters are not like minds of yogis. So they are inert. Here, inertia is being removed. constantly nirasyanti, whereas their inertia is always courted because lotus is always living in midst of inert waters. Niyata jada madhya ekasharanam. Adosha vyasanga satatamapi doshapti malinam. Adosha vyasanga. Vyasanga is attachment. Sanga, vyasanga. We have seen before. The lotus feet are attached to adosha, absence of dosha, absence of fault. When people are faultless, the lotus feet establish a contact, establish an attachment. So, adosha, vyasanga for the lotus feet. For the lotus, what happens? Tatatamapi, always, doshapti malinam. They become, malina means they become fade. They become faded, they decay when dosha is sandhya kala. Dosha sandhya kala. When the evening time comes, dosha apti malinam. They attain malina. They attain the faded character. They attain faded character in contact with dosha, in contact with sandhya kala, whereas adosha is required for lotus feet to be always happy. Adosha vyasanga satatamapi dosha apti malinam. This is the contrast between the lotus feet and the lotus. Lotus becomes shrunk and dirty in contact with twilight, whereas the feet are happy in contact with absence of fault. So your lotus feet ridicules lotus because your lotus feet are seen after long effort by Paramahamsas, whereas the lotus is very easy to attain for swans. Your lotus feet always remove inertia, whereas the lotus looks for courts, waters which are always jada, which are always inert. Your lotus feet establish contact with minds which are adosha, which are free from fault, whereas lotus have no such choice. They have to go through twilight and they become dirty, they become faded. This is the contrast. So your lotus feet ridicule Payoja, the lotus. Next. Next.
सुराणाम् आनन्द प्रबलनतया मण्डनतया नखेन्दोज्योत्स्नाभिः विसृमरतमः खण्डनतया पयोज श्रीद्वेष व्रतरततया त्वच्चरणयोः विलासः कामाक्षी प्रकटयति नैषा करदशाम्
कामाक्षी त्वच्चरणयोः विलासः नैषाकरदशां prakatayati. The last line. Tvacharanayoho, of your feet, vilasaha, the beauty, prakatayati, expresses, makes it clear. What does it express? Naishakara dasham, the state of Nishakara. Nishakara is moon. Dinakara is sun. Dina is day. Nisha is night. So Nishakara is moon. The brightness of your feet expresses the state of moon. Why? Suranam ananda prabalanataya. By strengthening ananda, the happiness, suranam of devas. Because moon is there, devas become happy. See, moon gives amrita to devas as well as to pitrus. During Shukla Paksha, the moon's nectar is being drunk by devas. The moon's nectar is being drunk by pitrus during Krishna Paksha. This is the theory of Shastras. So he says The moon strengthens the happiness of devas. Similarly, your feet strengthen the happiness of devas. So there is a comparison with the moon. Suranam Ananda Prabalanataya. Mandanataya. Mandana is an ornament. Mandana is ornament. For devas, moon is an ornament. They like to see the moon. Everybody likes to see the moon. They like to have the moon. Similarly, they like to have the lotus feet. That is why they come and prostrate. The devas come and prostrate at the lotus feet because it is a mandana. It is beautiful. It is an ornament. Nakhendu Jyotsnabhihi Visrimara Tamaha Khandanataya. Jyotsna is moonlight. Only moonlight is called Jyotsna. Sunlight is not called Jyotsna. Jyotsna always means moonlight. Nakha Indu. Indu is moon. Nakha Indu Jyotsnabhihi. By the moonlight which is coming from the moons, which are the nails, because nails are in the shape of half moon and they are shed moonlight. Because of that, Visrumara Tamaha. Visramara Tamaha means expanding, all pervading darkness. Khandanataya, by removing. Khandana is removing. By removing all pervading darkness by the moonlight which is coming from your nails. This darkness is the darkness of ignorance of people who prostrate. The other darkness is as soon as the moon rises, the darkness of the night goes off. So that is the Indu Jyotsnabhihi. So this is the parallel between the two. Next, Payoja Shridvesha Vrata Ratataya. Payoja is lotus. Shri, the beauty of the lotus. Dvesha, hating the beauty of the lotus. Vrata, that is the vow. Your feet have taken a vow of hating the beauty of the lotus. Vrata, rata, it is always engaged. It takes delight. It is always engaged. It takes delight in that vow of hating the beauty of the lotus. That is applicable to your feet. Same applies to Nishakara, the moon. The moon is also happy in observing the vow of hating the lotus glory. Because as soon as moon comes, lotus shrinks, closes its petals. So this is the parallel between the two. Like the moon, you are strengthening the happiness of devas. Like the moon, you are an ornament for the prostrating devas. They are very happy. Like the moon, your nails are spreading moonlight, which remove the darkness of all-pervading darkness of the devotees. Like the moon, you are observing, you are happy to observe the vow of hating the glory of lotus. Next.
Sitimna kantinam nakhara janusham padanalina chavinam shonimna tava janani kamakshi namane labhante mandara घ्रतितनव बंधूक कुसुम स्रजां सामीचीन्यं सुरपुर पुरंध्री कचभराः
Surapura Purandhri Kachabharaha. Surapura, the city of Devas, that is Amaravati. Surapura Purandhri. Purandhri is women. Women of Devaloka. Kacha, the hair on their head. Bharaha, they are full of the mass of hair on the heads of Devaloka women. Now that is being described. This hair is being described. Sitimna Kantinam Nakhara Janusham Pada Nalina Chavinam Shonimna Tavajanani Kamakshi Namane. Namane means while they are prostrating. Namane, while they are prostrating, what happens? Sitimna Kantinam Nakhara Janusham. Sitimna is whiteness. Sita is white. Sitimna, white color. Kantinam, the beauty, the radiance of the white color, which is coming from Nakara Janusham, generated by nails. The radiance of the white color generated by nails is there when they prostrate. Then what happens? Pada Nalina Chavinam Shonimna. You should remember there is a whiteness of the radiance of the nails, that is on the one side. The second side is Pada Nalina Chavinam Shonimna. Shonimna is red color. Chavi, the beauty, the radiance of your lotus feet. Pada Nalina. Nalina is lotus. From your lotus feet, there is a red color which is shining. This is the one. One is the red color which is shining. Secondly, the nails are giving expansive white color. This is the beauty. When they prostrate, what happens to the hair? Now we are talking about the hair. When they prostrate, what happens to the hair? Labhante, they attain. That is, the hairs attain. Srajam Samikinyam. Samikinyam means propriety, fitness. They can be called Sraja. Sraja means mala, garland. The hairs attain equal status with garlands. Why he is bringing garland to equate to hair? He is explaining that. Now he is explaining the background. There is a white, there is a red. White from the nails, red from the feet. And in that background, your black hair attains equation with mala, with garland. Why? Mandara grathita nava bandhuka kusuma srajam. What kind of garland? Kusuma means flowers. Bandhuka, nava bandhuka, new hibiscus, fresh hibiscus flowers. Hibiscus is red. So red is from the feet. Mandara grathita, in the mala, in the garland, which is made of hibiscus flowers, in between mandara flowers are put together. Grathita, put together, sewn together. Mandara is white. Mandara is white. That is the white nails, shine from the white nails. So when the women prostrate, their hair, which is black, is decorated by a garland which is made of hibiscus flowers, fresh hibiscus flowers, which are coming from the red beauty, red radiance of the lotus feet. In between, there are white mandara flowers, which is the whiteness of the nails. So your Kachabhara, the mass of hairs of Devaloka women who prostrate, Namane, who prostrate, are attaining equanimity, equal status with a garland which is made of fresh hibiscus flowers, where in between are sewn white mandara flowers, because there is the white radiance of nails and there is the red radiance of the lotus feet. Next.
स्फुरन्मध्ये शुद्धे नखकिरणदुग्धाब्धिपयसाम् वहन्नब्जं चक्रं धरमपि च लेखात्मकतया श्रितो मात्स्यं रूपं श्रियमपि दधानो निरुपमां त्रिधामा कामाक्ष्याः पदनलिननामा Vijayate.
Kamakshaha of Kamakshi, Pada Nalina Nama. Pada Nalina, the lotus feet. The name of the lotus feet, Vijayate, is shining, is victorious. As Tridhama, as Mahavishnu. Now the lotus feet are compared to Vishnu, because Tridhama is one of the names of Vishnu. Tridhama means he is having residence in three places, three Dhama. he is having his residence in three places. Now he is explaining those three places where Vishnu is residing, and similarly where the lotus feet are residing, those three places. That is the parallel. Puran Madhye Shuddhe Nakhakirana Dugdhabdhi Payasam. Dugdha, milk, Abdhi, ocean, Payas, waters. Waters of the milk ocean. Now everybody knows Vishnu is having one residence in the milk ocean. So this is the waters of the milk ocean. Now for lotus feet, what is the milk ocean? Puran Madhye Shuddhe Nakha Kirana. Nakha is nails, rays of the nails which are Shuddha, pure. Puran Madhye, they are shining. They are shining. Lotus feet are residing in Madhye, in the middle of the waters, which are pure and which are shining because of the rays of the nails. So that is the parallel. Next, Vahan Abjam Chakram Dharamabhicha Lekhatmakataya. Now Vishnu is holding Abja lotus, Chakra. He is holding the Chakra. Then he is holding Dara, Shankha. Dara is Shankha. He is holding Shankha, he is holding Chakra, he is holding lotus. So that is as far as Vishnu is concerned. Lekhatmakataya. Lekha is also Rekha. Rekha both mean the same. In the form of Rekhas, in the form of lines in her feet, Devi is holding Abja, Chakra and Dara, Shankha, Chakra and lotus. There is a Shankha Rekha, there is a Chakra Rekha, there is a Abja Rekha in lotus feet. So there is a parallel between Vishnu and lotus feet. Lotus feet are having the three Rekhas. Vishnu is holding these three. Shrito Matsyam Rupam Shriyamapi Dadhanaha Nirupamam. Shrito Matsyam Rupam. Also, he resorted to Matsya Rupa. He took Matsya Avatara once, Mahavishnu. So, one of the places where he is residing is Matsya Rupa. Whereas for Devi's lotus feet, Matsya is also a Rekha. One of the Rekhas in the lotus feet is Matsya Rekha. So, Shrito Matsyam Rupam, because he cannot combine it with the Shankha, Chakra and lotus. That's why he separated it. Shankha, Chakra and lotus are objects in the hands of Vishnu, whereas Matsya is a Rupa which he took. That's why she says Shrito Matsyam Rupam. Whereas for the Devi's lotus feet, all the four are Rekhas only, Lekhatmakataya. Then, Shriyamapi Dadhanaha Nirupamam. Nirupamam Shriyamapi Dadhana. Nirupamam, no parallel, unparalleled. Upama is parallel. Unparalleled glory, unparalleled beauty, unparalleled radiance. Shriyamapi Dadhanaha, holding. That is for Vishnu. That is also for lotus feet. Lotus feet are also holding unparalleled beauty, unparalleled glory. So that is common to both. Shriyamapi Dadhanaha Nirupama. So I can call the lotus feet as Mahavishnu, Tridhama. Tridhama is the name of Mahavishnu. Now, Shriyamapi has to be also interpreted as Shri as Mahalakshmi, holding the unparalleled Mahalakshmi, that is Mahavishnu. Because Tridhama has to be interpreted as three places. One we have described as milk ocean. Second is Matsyam Rupam, that is on earth. He took Matsya Rupa on earth. The second place is Matsya Rupa on earth. The second place is earth. Third place is being in the company of Mahalakshmi, Nirupamam Shriyam Dadhanaha, that is Vaikuntha. That is the third place is Vaikuntha, that is how he is Tridhama. So he lives in Vaikuntha, he lives in milk ocean, he also lives on earth in the form of Matsya. So, same applies to lotus feet. in the waters of uh, milk ocean for Mahavishnu, in the waters of the white Nakha Kirana, the wraith of nails, then the four objects, the three objects which he is holding, Abja, Chakra, and Dara, that is Shankha, Chakra, and Abja, they are held in the form of rekhas by lotus feet, also Matsya Rekha, and he is also taking Matsya Rupa on earth, and he is holding Mahalakshmi with unparalleled beauty in Vaikuntha. Similarly, lotus feet are holding unparalleled beauty. So, Vijayate. So, the lotus feet are ever shining, ever victorious in the form of Mahavishnu. Next.
नखश्री सन्नद्ध स्तभक निचित स्वैश्च किरणैः विषङ्गैः कामाक्षी प्रकटितलसत् पल्लवरुचिः सतां गम्य शङ्के सकलफलदाता सुरतरुः त्वदीयः पादोऽयं तुहिनगिरिराजन्य तनये.
He is addressing Kamakshi. Second line he says Kamakshi. Fourth line he says Tuhinagiri Rajanya Tanaye. Tuhinagiri is the snow-capped mountain. Rajanya, the emperor of the snow-capped mountain, that is Himavan. Tanaya, daughter of Himavan. That is, these are the two addresses. Now he is saying Tudiyaha Ayam Padaha Surataruhu. Tudiyaha, your Ayam Padaha, this foot of yours is nothing but Surataruhu, Kalpa Vriksha. Surataru is Devaloka Vriksha, Kalpa Vriksha, Kalpataru. Your foot is nothing but Kalpa Vriksha. Shanke, I suspect. Sakala Paladata, it gives all fruits. It gives all fruits like a Kalpa Vriksha. So I suspect your foot is not a foot, it is a Kalpa Vriksha. Now he is explaining further. Nakashri Sannadha Stabaka Nikitaha Swaishcha Kiranaihi Pishangaihi Prakatita Latat Pallava Ruchihi. A Kalpa Vriksha should have flowers. A Kalpa Vriksha should have Pallava, tender shoots. Now, what is the flower which your lotus feet is having? Nakashri Sannadha Stabaka Nikitaha. Nikitaha means having plenty. Stabaka, cluster of flowers. Manjari, Stabaka, the cluster of flowers. Nakashri Sannadha, the cluster of flowers, they is put together, Sannadha, by the glory of nails. The glory of nails is the flower in the Kalpa Vriksha. Then, what is the Pallava? What is the tender plant? Swaishcha Kiranaihi Vishangaihi Prakatita Lasat Pallava Ruchi. Vishangaihi means golden. Swaishcha Kiranihi, golden colored rays are emanating from your lotus feet, which are like the tender shine of the tender plants, shining Prakatita Lasat. Shine is exposed, shine is propagated. Which shine? The Pallava Ruchi, the shine of the tender plant is propagated, is exposed, is made clear by your golden rays which are emanating from the lotus feet. So the two questions have been answered. The Kalpataru is having flower, the Kalpataru is also having a tender plant. Both have been described. Satam Gamyaha. Satam Gamyaha means resorted to by virtuous people. Gamyaha, resorted to by virtuous people. Satam Gamyaha, your lotus feet. Similarly, Kalpataru is also resorted to by lotus feet. Is it available to us? Kalpataru is not available to us because they are not Sat. For Sat, Kalpataru is available for virtuous people. Even on earth, a virtuous yogi whatever he wishes happens because he is having kalpataru. That is satam gamyaha. Similarly, your lotus feet are available to virtuous feet. This is the similarity again. So I suspect your lotus feet as kalpa vriksha. It is resorted to by virtuous feet. It has the cluster of flowers which are the radiances from the nails, white nails, and which are having the red colored pallavas. Flowers are white and the pallavas are red colored. That is how he is describing. The tender plant is red colored from your golden rays coming from your lotus feet. So I suspect because it gives all fruits, sakala paladata, it gives all fruits. So I suspect your feet as kalpa vriksha. We close now. We invite questions.
Please unmute yourself and ask questions.
நமஸ்காரம் மாமா. இந்த 32வது ஸ்லோகத்துல அந்த கடைசி வேர்டு கச்சபராக அது கொஞ்சம் சொல்றீங்களா?
Kachabharaha. Kacha is hair. Bharaha, mass of hair, lot of hair, dense hair.
Okay, okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Anybody?
I don't think we have questions today.
So no more. I think we close and wishing all of you all the best. We meet before the new year next Saturday. All the best.
Thank you.
Namaskaram, Mama.
Namaste.